important moment here. As Gio's in some trouble, he will drop over towards the P2 steps. Trying to lock down the back of his Awakening, but Mac, Yuli, both going to be in a position to try to stop this hit from the front. But FaZe Falcons are streamlining their way in through the P5 avenue. So now it's just down to trying to find a way to actually break this with the favorable spawns for Fun Esports. This is a great moment for FaZe Falcons. Mac is able to find two. Luka stuck in the corner. Has to read all of this. And the first shots are clean, but the break is finally in.
Yeah, that's all due to what Mac does right off the respawn. He said, all right, we already had a lot of pressure towards the back. There's no point in me trying to fill that gap alongside you guys, so let me set up this binge. He's able to find two from the front. Seem to still apply the pressure towards the back, and that leads to them breaking for the final 40. And this is a perfect sequence for them.
Yeah. Two
players are going to spawn out, two players right in front of you, and Yuli has to jump on the first with the Hellstorm now to work with.
Yeah, the Hellstorm is going to be critical, especially going over to 4. Really good finesse over the last 20 seconds for Fun Esports on this earlier rotation to 3. QK, backside, trying to play for Truck. Almost able to get 2, but not quite. Yuli now on 8 in a row. And he's got a couple of weapons to play with. Dives on forward. Gonna be beat, though, as FaZe Falcons are finding a way to put pressure on this right side of the pits. And, oh, goodness, Awakening double inside the hard point. Now has Mac finding the final. That's a full 4-man dead for Fun Esports.
And if you're FaZe Falcons, if you give them this 40 seconds, it's basically a GG on the map because you still got the Hellstorm to go in towards the Rocktail. So you desperately need a break. You desperately are looking for the opening kill. And it's Gio that's able to find the first way to Luka getting the trade. But the spawns are still going to be here for Fun Esports. Everyone is just locking down their lane. FaZe Falcons are now just forced to hit the rotation. You have no chance at breaking this.
Yeah, this is so tough, man. It's just where you spawn and also just the way the hard points are set up, trying to break is such a task. So now you've got for Fun Esports free on the exit, trying to put some pressure on rotation. FaZe Falcons will find the first. Mac hunting. Sound 2 comes through. He finds his 5th elimination, but nothing there for the 6th. And this is exactly right. Go ahead, call in the Hellstorm. Try to play around the back if you can. And win the spawns, win the game. It's kind of the idea here.
And they're also trying to set up Awakening because he could potentially earn himself his own Hellstorm as he does find that kill onto Roxas. So job, step 1 done. You secured the backside. Now you got to break your way back in through Dojo. The pressure that you have from the front side does get gunned down, so a trade is all you're looking for if you're Awakening. You earn the Hellstorm, might as well call it in right away.
Yeah, why not? Why not? FaZe Falcons have done a nice job holding, though. I mean, if this finds success, you're looking at maybe 20 seconds worth of time here for Fun Esports. QK will drop, so will Nox, but Mac will fall in the process, and as Yuli is traded out, I don't know, Jay, that's 2 Hellstorms for maybe 10 seconds of time. It's not the worst case scenario because you get the favorable side for P5 as well, but that was expensive to be sure.
هل في عودة يا اخوان؟
Expensive break attempt there for only 15 seconds of time, but like you said, you're still controlling the better side of the map here for the initial time of P5.
العودة يا رب العودة.
Continuing on the hot note, Mac and Gio now joining into the party. That's all 4 dead, but they do not block the back spawn, so FaZe Falcons instantly into the next wave.
Yeah, but Gio's got the read.
يا رب العودة. حلو حلو يا سعود.
Stuns up a second. Yuli trying to follow into the P2 doors, but he gets caught by surprise. 3 dead. Mac gets some trouble. Able to find 1 before dropping. He's actually still alive and kicking. He found a
يا رب يا رب يا رب يا رب يمدينا والله يمدينا. والله يمدينا العودة يمدينا.
Okay, and this is where FaZe Falcons can work their way back into the game. You need to hold down this fawn at 20. You need to trap them towards the backside of Warehouse. Because now you're forcing Fun Esports to start to panic a little bit. It felt like they were in firm control. To this HP, Gio though.
لا يا عيال.
Yuli and Awakening join the Fiesta with all 4 dead, and now mid-map control to go with it. It might be game over.
Yeah, it feels that way. Mac can just hold this position and lock down anyone coming on in. It's a huge double for Mac. More top side of the barrels. I think Mac may have seen him, but he's gonna play through the elevator instead. Come up from behind. Easy. No problem. Mac is running rampant. 30 and 22. No one in the time for now, but for Fun Esports, definitely have the numbers to surround this hill. And Mac will eventually get put down. So time stays neutral for now.
Yeah, FaZe Falcons for now, at least trading effectively to not allow Fun any time here. There's still 30 seconds remaining, and all you're doing if you are Fun Esports is looking for
يا عيال يا عيال.
3, making all 4 dead. This should be the closing moment of the game.
Sure feels that way, but Luka does get 2. Shut down as soon as he tries to challenge. And this player on the barrels will also fall. Last 2 seconds. If anyone jump up in time,
يا ابو
no, not
القهر
the case.
يا ابو القهر.
Fun Esports just a step ahead, honestly, through largely P2, P3. Really good stuff, I think, especially there in that second set, being able to finesse the old time at 2 and still win the time at 3.
Yeah, that's good stuff out of an experienced team. You got to expect them to make their adjustments, especially on the second half. You did great initially at the P1. You did great at the P2. You allowed FaZe Falcons to break it for the final 20, which gave them the opportunity to win that rotation over towards P3, but you instantly fixed those mistakes. This time you win the rotation to P2. You get out at the right time to win the rotation to P2.
يا اخوان فالكون لازم يفوز، لازم عشان نتأهل. لازم يفوز فالكون عشان نتأهل.
For this FaZe Falcons lineup is because whenever things are going right and they're finding all the kills, when they're in the power positions, they are looking like one of the best. But when they are forced to now be uncomfortable, find break on hard points, show that teamwork that makes the dream work, versus an experienced team like this, it's kind of lackluster. And unfortunately for them, it happened in that map 1.
Yeah, and I think you see that in particular from players like Roxas and Aluka, who, like, when they're frying, it's usually because their team is rotating better. I mean, we saw, I think, really that was an instance when Blackheart was still in the pool. They were really good at Blackheart for that reason. That they could just run and gun and win rotations and all like at the blink of an eye. But here, where it's about like, okay, at 18 seconds, what do we need to do before going to the next hard point? It just felt like they were always in the back foot, so it's just tough seats.
It's also like situations where we're contesting for the final 15 seconds. All right, we didn't get a break at any of this time, but we don't want to give them the full 60. And then on your last push, you die, they push out, and you spawn up behind them. A lot of those situations tend to happen to FaZe Falcons. And unfortunately, when you have stat lines the way that you were, only losing the game by 70 is pretty typical. Because if you change one situation, it could have won anyone's game. But just some of those very important kills off the rotation cost you this map 1.
Yeah, it's that P3, honestly, that second set. And it's just tough. I mean, that's, you know, I think the next step for a lot of teams that we're going to see that are best at Sake, especially on P2, it's like, okay, we're 30 seconds through this hard point. We need to give up the back spawns to force them to spawn back there so we can try to rotate and go scrap to initial, even if it is finessing in that last 20 seconds or so. And we saw for Fun Esports kind of forced to make that play just due to the fact that there was a solid push through the middle, so... Good stuff overall for Fun Esports. Gridlock Search will be next, but hey, look at this. More action over Colossus Hardpoint. Huntsman and Cabal locked into a good one.
Oh, and Huntsman currently looking like they're going to take the lead so far with a phenomenal P2 hold. P1 is locked down. You don't have any presence towards statue, but Cabal taking his sweet time on their break attempt. You don't even have an attempt now with all the aggression out of the Huntsman, so final 15 is going to go their way. Cabal forced to hit the rotation. And now they're just banking that their first wave of gunfights goes their way.
Yeah. So they got a really solid setup. And they're reading, at least Vikram is, that he's got to hold this position. But, he falls. And that's not what you want, because now there's a natural pinch starting to develop. Renegade finds one from the other side. Last 2 players in tunnel are just trying to hang on best they can. But Brat gets 2. Johnny a 3rd. And that break that may win the game right there for Huntsman.
It's a GG. You're already cutting down the player towards P1. You know all the pressure's going to be over towards that blue side, and unless you're able to get past the ARs on the side of the Huntsman, that is going to be map number 1.
Yeah, that's just a really good aware play, pushing around P2, getting through the backside, and yeah, Vikram is the one responsible for it. He just kind of gets caught repositioning, but that was a little bit too bunkered up for Cabal, I would say, considering it was an early rotation to 3. Huntsman will take the edge in that series. And again, you got to remember that this Huntsman team was the last team to qualify through the elite qualifiers this stage, and they've put together a really, really good showing throughout the group stage. You know, they finished 5-0, top of their group, and right there you see another moment of like great macro play out of the hardpoint.
Yeah, the thing that's scary about that Huntsman lineup is that when you take a look at the lineup, a lot of them are just S&D players through and through.
Yeah,
you got the new up-and-comer in Renegade, but then you got Brack and you got Johnny. Those guys live for S&D. So if they can take respawns, they can guarantee those map 2s, and that's been ideal for Huntsman all throughout this playoffs.
Well, taking a look here at another matchup, I'm at Brooklyn and FC Stallions. Stallions won the opening hardpoint, so we find ourselves in the first round of the Raid Search and Destroy. Paul had a couple of hit markers, but looks like there eventually will be enough pressure to plant the bomb at B. FC Stallions will have to play retake in the 3v3.
Yeah, I don't know what's been going on with FC Stallions ever since Patty P, a.k.a. Aches, gave them that 60-second pep talk. These guys have been blitzing everyone in the respawn, but the Search and Destroy, still needs some work in the 3v2. Trying to secure this round, but they have no information gained. You know that there's most likely someone over towards the bedroom, but time is starting to tick. We got to go.
Yeah, sure do. And, well, Mid Brooklyn are able to find all the kills in the blink of an eye, so they will take the opening round in the post plant. Just to kind of look back at it, FC Stallions won 250 to 162 on Scar Hardpoint.
Yeah, they're blitzing, folks.
Yeah.
But this is what, the experienced roster in Omer Brooklyn are looking for. Okay, you caught us lacking in the map, number 1, but Search and Destroy is our best friend. And we've also played Raid for quite some time, so hitting them with the default, let's Planet B, hold down the bedroom setup, works out perfectly for the opening round. And now to the defensive side they go, and FC Stallions, I'm expecting aggression.
Yeah. Well, they're going to take a little feel out through Zig to mid, but not going to force the issue. Instead, Billy's just going to play a shoulder over towards B for contact. Everybody else is focused over towards A. And Icons is looking to make a play to possibly plant here. Wow, bold. So you've got mid locked down by water steps and this play at Zig. Icons off the plant, able to find first blood. Traded by Standy, but Millie's right there to pick up the pieces. We'll go 3v2.
Yeah, and you have everything that you want. If you are FC Stallions in this post play, Smoke Grenade is going to get invested. Millie's able to locate that with the M15. Now with Dylan Rex left in a 1v3, stands no chance. Post plant very successful when there's no presence from the defensive squad through the middle of the map. And you also find the first blood and walk away with the trade fights and still have the numbers. Back-to-back offenses for these squads tie game.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering, what did FC Stallions read there that they knew that there would be a retake coming through mid? Because that was a very stretched plant. Like, the bomb carrier was the furthest player forward. Everyone else was either tracked back over towards Art or playing through water steps. So there must have been some information there that Mid Brooklyn were not playing inside of Laundry, and they're going to play the retake through mid. But whoever made the call, brilliant.
Yeah, they were throwing a lot of shoulders on the backside of Art. They just spotted one towards Laundry, while Millie on the opposite side at B didn't see anyone towards B. So don't waste any time. Work your way up water steps. Get the bomb down. Very clean round, but into the action very quickly in towards ring. KB and Icons strike for the opening two, but Too Real with the pillow finds two of his own. And now it's all up to Paul.
He gives Paul a chance, but he does not have the bomb to play with. So he's going to reset the map. And we will have to wait and see how this one ends up, as we are getting ready to go for our Search and Destroy on Gridlock. 4 matches. This one, obviously, well, look at P7 Victorious, dude.
Yeah, they're getting blitzed.
Yeah, they're getting ran.
It's not looking good enough.
رجعنا فيز فالكون يا اخوان.
Back over to the Alpha
بسم الله على بركة الله.
Offense for Fun, defense for FaZe Falcons. This is a very slow round for Fun Esports. Usually you're expecting a very quick pace opening round to just set the tone, but they're trying to still face on both sides, trying to get a read of what the defense is throwing them.
Yeah, this is interesting, though, because Roxas is in a great spot, and he's going to see this rotation, and he has help to deal with the play in the underpass.
حلوة حلوة دي حلوة دي حلوة دي.
All it took was
ركز ركز تكفى تكفى. يا عمري يا عمري.
Forces for Fun Esports to have to rotate back.
واحد. Nice.
They just find absolutely nothing there with that advanced defensive position over towards underpass.
Yeah, I feel like this is a lot of what Gridlock Search and Destroy has turned out to be ever since it's been added to the map set. You get a sniper to shut down early presence at that B street. Just show face there. Forces the offensive team to be a little bit nervous because you don't really have a lot of spots you can stay down from at that street side, but you force it into the rotation. Roxas in a perfect position to watch it. Finds the first blood and the second. And then for Fun Esports in a 4v2 decide to push through, stand no chance.
Well, Nox sees some mild information onto Awakening, but not much to determine if this hit would continue over to B or not. FaZe Falcons kind of taking their time stretching the map here, and they're going to allow Mac to get over in towards towels and showers. Same with Geo. So now it's down to, how do you find a first blood? Dooley slides out, finds the kill. Nice double chow there, and we'll get a 4v3.
Yeah, and that's all off the information Awakening's able to get. To the bottom side of Sushi, just hitting those jump spots. Now Max still ready and waiting off the rotation. Finds kill number 2. Luka looking to make up for it. Does find one, but now he's left technically in a 1v1.
يا عمري يا لوكا يا عمري. القهر.
He gets the 2 and gets away. Would be maybe a chance to you know, push through and maybe find the 3rd, like, but it's still it's not much. That's just not much else. Not much other space to go to.
Yeah, that's just another one of those rounds though, out where FaZe Falcons show a little bit of a different approach on their offense and try to basically back down Awakening from having lines of sight over towards that B street. Or you sneak up on him, but the fact that he's able to get that information on the player that crosses the back alley, set up the double chow for the first blood, that was who FaZe Falcons were banking on for that rotation. He gets shut down, you gotta commit, and Mac was ready and waiting on the opposite side.
Well, some action here at B.
يا لوكا تكفى يا لوكا.
Oh
my god.
Wow, what a double from Mac. He was down to 1 bullet for what felt like forever. 2K trying to make up for it.
يا عيال شوي تركيز. Oh my god.
Unreal from Mac and those 3.
Mackenzie Mel's making big plays, especially with a smoke grenade at his feet. It's the first gunfight because FaZe Falcons this time around we're stacking a lot of bodies here towards Ice Cream and Sushi. Preparing for a B push. So you try to sneak up and overextend a little bit too much to put yourself in the best possible spot. That's what Matt makes you pay for it. Gets the first blood. Roxas tries to play for the trade, but loses the auto aim through the smoke. And a turn and burn good enough out of Mackenzie Melts to go on 5 in a row.
Really clean for Mac. Different look here for FaZe Falcons. Going to take all 4 players down towards B Street. Awakening going to step up this time by just bouncing off of the truck. He's in some trouble here. Has to try to get away, and not going to be allowed to. Yuli was there with them, trying to give him some space, but Nox just forces the issue, finds the kill. Awakening. Wait, what happened? Wait, how is Awakening still finessing over here?
حلوة حلوة.
On the way though, so we'll go to a 3v2.
I thought they completely forgot about Awakening. Thankfully, you're able to take care of him very quickly by only losing 1. So still a numbers advantage for FaZe Falcons, but they are playing this super patient on the bomb. You want to gather some kind of information before they even think about the objective, but with 40 seconds left, they have yet to show face. We got to stop wasting time.
Yeah.
2 على 1.
The next kill potentially, but timing may be atrocious here. Okay, well.
لا مو 2 على 1.
That will work out.
حلو 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 حلو. معلي معلي معلي.
Geo down to 11 health. He's able to get back to full HP. But it's just down to, can he actually find the time to 1v2 this? I mean, time's becoming an issue here. Surely we just double chow this. Surely we don't let him just run through us like this. And now Geo's got the opportunity to play off the clock. Hold on a second. He can still win this. 6 seconds left. He's got a plant. Oh, and Geo
حلوة حلوة.
didn't necessarily look down. Maybe if he kills the bomb planter, he can just get away and win the round, but not the case.
Yeah, that's where it gets scary, because when you have the numbers, when you have the map control, and you're playing for extra info before you think about the next play, that's when you almost give Geo the opportunity at the 1v3 clutch. Thankfully, you were in the position to keep your teammates safe if you are Roxas. So the B push works out for Falcons. Able to find the first blow onto Yuli, effective trades onto Awakening, and not allow Geo to break them down to have a tie game.
والله نقدر عليهم قسم بالله. مو فريق مرة قوي والله يمدينا عليه.
Looking for any info on the cross through showers, doesn't see anything there, and honestly, that's a lot of space given up for free without even trying to challenge it. So for Fun Esports will get the A bomb, but are not committed to a plant yet.
Yeah, and now it's also the head games now, because you gave up your spawn and you have no idea if they already have potentially.
قاعد يفعل على ابو القهر.
Bomb is not going to be planted. Still 4v4. You're banking on a Luka to open up from the deep route.
Well, I like this for Fun Esports. They're just going to push out Nox.
عطى تكفى. يا الله.
Taken care of 4v3, and you know for a fact that FaZe Falcons are now playing from the other side of the bomb. But Yuli tagged up. Luka finds one back on the repinch.
وراكم وراكم.
First is good, second is better, and for Fun Esports, a really heads-up play to push out.
قهر قهر.
Yeah, that's all experience, Al. understanding the situation at hand. Okay, we have backed down the player who was still solo watching this site. But the way that they're most likely going to set up this retake is from so many different angles, not only showing presence from their side. So, screw it. We have 4 guns ready and waiting. Let's just push it. Have the advantage. You only spot one. You take care of him very cleanly, and then you fight your way back in with an extra gun. There's better plays there for For Fun Esports on the post plant. And FaZe Falcons, you can't give up that bomb site that freely.
No, you can't. I think a lot of that is just, again, Nox or Roxas just give away the space for free.
Yeah, but also double stacking B on this map doesn't really make sense. All you need is one guy to scout for information and then just hit the road.
الفريق اسمه فور فن حرام يا اخوان يفوز علينا والله.
We all know those.
والله فيز فالكون لازم يفوزون لازم عشان نتأهل للميجر.
FaZe Falcons taking their time in this offense. Mac already forward at Showers. Just looking for info and he sees what he needs. 2 players. I'm out of there. Backs up. Gio will do the same. And so Gio will watch Max back.
انتبهوا يا عيال.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. QK last one left alive, stuck.
QK.
Man, you just allowed For Fun Esports to take the entire map away from you in the first 15 seconds. You stand no chance. They got that guy playing the credit corner at B Street. He's locking it down. Awakening put him in that position right off the rip. But then the other 2 players on the opposite side towards Showers just take all this space away. And you have nothing to work with if your FaZe Falcons just going to waste that much time. Because now when you throw that shoulder on the backside of your courtyard, you already see him pushed up. You're going to waste more time investing stuns and nades to try to locate where he is. And if you choose wrong, which exactly you just did, Matt gets 2, Gio with the cover fire finds a 3rd. And that's just a very easy round for For Fun Esports when they establish the map control 10, 15 seconds into the round.
Yeah, it's been too free in a couple of rounds. These 2 immediately back-to-back have definitely been that. Smoke to block off Grandma's room. Aluka is playing down low and caught with an 8-out. Yuli will punish. And that will be another bomb plant situation in a 4v3 post plant for fun.
Now you got to clear out to your side. Guarantee that Sushi is all crystal clear, but we're looking for the early kill to make it a 3v3. You know that the post plant setup is going to be all the way at their 18 wheeler. We just got to take care of these players pushed up.
Oh,
حلوة النت حلوة يا كنكس حلوة.
Gio
حلوة يا عيال.
Nox's scope, hell of a shot. 20 seconds, smoke still encompassing sight. And Awakening, lucky that Nox didn't have his
عطى يا شيخ. عطى يا مجنون عطى. لا يا اخي ما يصير 2 ما يصير 2.
Oh my goodness.
Pulls him off from the defuse. QK gets off the defuse and Awakening's gonna clutch the round. Oh!
بسم بالله حرام.
If you were looking for something to stand on and potentially give yourself some momentum, that was it. Get the retake in a 3v4 situation at the more difficult bomb site.
اخي ما نعرف نلعب سيرش يا اخي ما نعرف نلعب سيرش.
Was perfection. The shot after that onto the milk truck is even better.
حرام هنا يشيل 2 والله حرام.
We have cleared out our
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
You have to be playing the post
Welcome Sayer,
from
welcome.
the 18 where we're flying out and challenging instead of keeping our teammate alive. And all it took was Awakening to have 1 full clip of the M15 to find the first early 2 kills. And the final one with the Jaeger to just to back him off of the site. For Fun Esports at game point.
To make matters worse, Jay, there was not enough shots in the pistol
حلوة يا لوكا.
to win that battle on the defuse. If he just sticks it, he wins. Yuli, first blood by way of nade. FaZe Falcons just flooding in towards A. We'll go to the 3v3. Yuli looking for info off the wall jump. And we'll just stun the corner. Already smoke the corner and then move around all the way to the back. So Gio's going to make sure there's no rotation to B.
Yeah, I don't know why they're still waiting to plant this bomb.
No idea.
You know that they're all waiting for you to run out one direction, but the longer you wait, the more routes you have to be aware of. But finally in the 3v3, you're going to put it down.
ما نعرف نلعب سيرش والله ما نعرف. سيرش ما ادري شلونه ما نعرف نلعب بس العاب ثانيه غير سيرش ما في احسن مننا.
It, but wait a second, Awakening just backs up and finds the kill.
شلون
Problem is he's going to get re-wrapped, and UK will find that elimination, leaving Yuli by himself for the 1v2. Through the smoke, they just can't find each other. But now they do. Yuli's able to find the kill, and he's still got time to play with.
حرام والله حرام.
Nice.
حلو ايه اقوياء مره في سيرش اقوياء مره.
And FaZe Falcons will stay alive.
Yeah, thankfully in the post plant situation, you find that opening kill and effective very quickly on the trade.
المشكله انهم فازوا جيم حق الهارد بوينت، فازوهم بعد والحين يفوزون سيرش. مشكله والله، يصير باقي لهم جيم وخلاص يتاهلون. لازم نفوز احنا، لازم عشان نتاهل للميجر. ضروري نفوز عشان اسم الميجر.
But if you give up that A side for free, you're losing 6-3.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And here we go. We'll see if they can hold it. Two-man stack over towards Towels. QK already pushed off the angle. Roxas by himself. Holding over towards Towels. And for Fun Esports have held back. I think they know, obviously, that QK playing up means that we can maybe try to find somewhere else because they're probably not there by themselves. And they're going to look to move down middle. Luka's going to give up that space, try to respond to this, but he's kind of in a tricky spot. Will stun himself to freedom, and Awakening will find a kill. Where are we going?
Hey, just put him in that position where he was forced to run right into the teammates.
Haram.
You wrap back to your spawn, you stand no chance. Now it's Roxas left in a 1v4. Gets the first, trying to get out.
الله يركس لحالك.
No chance. For Fun Esports just played them like a fiddle, Al.
Yeah,
like they showed early presence. You saw how quickly they gained that information that there was presence over towards Showers. That was in the first 10 seconds. All right, now you're forcing FaZe Falcons to back down. All right, now with the hesitation game of them not showing any more presence towards Showers, we're going to take some space. But with two players showing aggressive towards Showers, it has to guarantee be one person at B. So there has to be maximum one at the middle of the map. Again, they are playing to their advantage. And when you have a squad with this much experience and they understand where they can take the advantage on the map, they did it every single time, and they made the search and destroy look so damn easy.
Yeah, man, it just felt like FaZe Falcons, I think especially from the defensive side, didn't really know what their protocols were of like, okay, am I playing for contact? Like, let's just use Luka as that last example, playing front side.
صحصحوا اخر جيم هذا لا يفوزون يا اخي، لا يفوزون والله لا يفوزون، حرام. العبوا بالدم يا اخوان.
should be to retreat back into Grandma's house and keep the defense alive, but instead he tries to push forward into an unknown.
لسه يا بندر لسه ما انتهى
I don't know. It just there were so many moments like that.
لحد الان 2-0 للفريق اللي ضد فالكون. فيز فالكون. لسه باقي ان شاء الله فيها باذن الله، فيها امل. فيها باذن الله.
To eliminate his line of sight. Somehow, some way, everyone is going for a one-on-one chow when you're only at 50 or less HP. And that just gives him a clutch that he wasn't.
ما نفقد الامل، ما نفقد الامل يا اخوان، في امل ان شاء الله. باذن الله في امل.
Only one bullet in the M15. If you stick deep, you stand a chance. But as a player on the opposite side, you don't know that. But I'd rather play for the win than play for my stat line. I would have stayed on that bar.
Yeah, for real. You have to. There's no other choice. I mean, you just have to stick that with less than 7 seconds on the clock. So, for Fun Esports, we'll take a 2-0 edge in this winner's bracket round 1 matchup. Trying to see the other action going on across the league, so to speak. Nothing else is updated yet on my side, Jay. So
FC Stallions,
Project Notorious are 2-0 up.
Yeah, P7 2-0. Huntsman is still up 1-0 in the search and destroy.
Okay. So speaking of the devil, we'll go take a look to see how Huntsman and Cabal are doing in their search and destroy. 4-3 the count here on Raid. Raid today. Trophy system immediately destroyed. Scooty still going to try to snipe this and gets tagged off. Second attempts. No, instead it's a Johnny Nate that hits first blood for Huntsman.
And look how much information they already gained. First blood at Kitchen. There was presence at Water Street. So no need to fight anything else. Let's take Laundry because we have the guns to do it.
Yeah, and the more that they move through this, the more they should be aware there could be an early flank, but maybe not the case. Johnny in some trouble trying to just keep himself alive, but he doesn't have as much help as you may have thought from the Huntsman offense through Laundry. So Cabal will reclaim the A site, and now they kind of have Huntsman trapped inside of Laundry.
Yeah, with the bomb down at the bomb as well. You're forced to instantly just fly on out and force the gunfights your way. Renegade does the first job. A fight on the first, but it's still going to be a 2v2. 35 seconds. Time is starting to tick. You have info that there's one player still sitting very close to Laundry, but you have no idea where Mirage is.
Oh, Brack. Well, goodness.
خدع والله.
Beaten. Now it's just down to Swooty.
والله خدع. حياكم الله اللي في البث. منورين يا اخوان، منورين. لا تنسون تحطون لايك. لا تنسون تحطون لايك للبث. ترى اللايك والله ما يخسركم شيء، بالعكس يفيدني انا مره كثير. احط لايك الله يسعدك.
That will be the round going to Cabal. Unless Swoody can somehow turn this into a quick double, but no, not the case. 4-4.
Yeah, that's a big retake.
اعطونا فالكون بس، اعطونا فالكون. اعطونا فالكون وخروا ذولي.
You quickly are effective on your pinch route though. That's what allows them to put themselves into the play very quickly, even when they lost all of A site. You shut down Johnny from get that bomb planted, and you saw Johnny actually throws a stun at his feet instead of a smoke grenade. So he stuns himself, unfortunately for that death. And just puts your teammates in a bad spot, trapped over towards Laundry with the bomb down on the site. Cabal able to tie the game.
So round 9. Ball going with the 3-1 split. Gonna wait for the nades from Huntsman at middle. And then just raw Chalet with guns up. That will work. Holy cow. This is 3 M15 setup. They didn't even bother throwing any stuns or nades. Triple Chalet.
كيف ما شقوه ما ادري.
One knocked down to 4 HP, the other one knocked down to 19. Still able to walk away with the numbers though is Cabal. Now they reset the play. And Huntsman on the man disadvantage are looking to very quickly gain some info of where this play is going to go because they're getting bamboozled.
Yeah, they sure are.
Oh, he's planning for mid though.
Yeah, he sure is. And Swoody, if he checks it, maybe he can find a way to contest, but not the case. Instead, Swoody will take a ton of damage, and it looks like Cabal have a good read on this post plant. But we're going to switch back over to our alpha matchup, which is loading.
يب عطنا فالكون. عطنا فيز فالكون يا شيخ.
8-3.
Oh wait, it's over with? Torn
it
out?
Like it.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I think maybe.
عطونا يا شيخ هنا.
I don't know.
اوفرلورد باذن الله انه جيمنا باذن الله. باذن الله. يلا يا سعود تكفى يا كيوكي. يا عمري يا عمري الحركة. وصلها هم. حلوة روكس. حلوة يا روكس. حلوة يا روكس يا مجنون.
Still a battle for early killjoy control. A lot of players from FaZe Falcons in the vicinity to just play keep away. They're looking for the opening kill.
Awakening will find one. Actually taken down to the corner, and Geo will turn that into 3 dead. Knocks the last one standing. In a pretty decent spot to contest. Good read on the Yuli.
حلوة حلوة يا عيال. حلوة يا عيال. كل يلعبوا كذا يا اخو من اول تكفون.
Up top, trying to set this defense up.
Nice.
To beyond recognition, but Semtex in the backside are decent, but it's not decent enough. Last couple of members who remain for Falcons will collect and score 2-0 up.
Yeah, that's crazy. Good plays out of Nox, who's the only defender on that side.
حلوة يا كروكس. يلا يا لوكا صحصح باقي كلهم يلعبون كيل الا انت يا لوكا. صحصح يا لوكا.
FaZe Falcons now feeling the momentum on their side here in the Overload, trying to fight back into this series. Roxas sitting at 7-2.
Roxas يا اخوان Roxas.
Who are bringing all of the slave they need to gain some momentum here. Already found 2 scores and have rooftop control to try to make score number 3 happen.
Yeah, they're looking really good here in the Overload. EMP not in hand though. Nox comes back over, trying to challenge out Tree. Mac can only do so much. And
يا مجنون يا مجنون.
Is all over
يا مجنون Knox.
11-3. Now the EMP is grabbed. Awakening able to find the first, but cannot take the second down before the score. So 3-0 up earlier. FaZe Falcons here in the first half of Den.
Yeah, you got to get out now. You are desperately looking for at least 1 capture here for the chance at an early halftime.
حلوة حلوة يا لوكا. ايوه يا لوكا صحصح يا لوكا تكفى.
One-on-one gunfight because your teammates dominated the presence through mid. If he found that gunfight, it would have led to a guaranteed score, but now FaZe Falcons here for a stop.
Yeah, and Aluka does not get revealed by that stun. He's still a bit unknown in this position. He turns that into essentially 2 with the team kill coming through. Knocks the rest of FaZe Falcons holding this front line defense. Mac damage at range. Geo in the corner though does provide.
ما يدبلكم يا اخي.
Picked up and here come the rest of for fun esports, but Geo doesn't even bother to wait. Thinking maybe he can beat the respawn timer. That's
حلوة.
That's a quick recollect for FaZe.
Yeah, he was just thinking, all right, I got 2 kills on this side of the map. Potentially, it's going to be 1 side steps and 1 watching the OE. So, in the 3v1, we have a good chance of getting this score. But more players holding the goal line. Allows FaZe Falcons to get another stop. But Now this Nox pinch needs to work out. Only able to find one, and Gio's maintaining this side of the map, but the EMP is about to reset.
Yes, it is. Unless QK wants to grab it. Nope. Goes back to mid, which honestly might be a little bit of a lifeline here for Fun Esports. They've got better presence at mid than FaZe Falcons do, but
حلوة يا لوكا. حلوة.
That will work right over the top of the head. He just absolutely destroys one. Now
حلوة.
towards the goal. Able to find the
ركز.
first by Awakening. Here come the rest of the help for Fun Esports. Nades being cooked up for FaZe Falcons, but they're gonna get pushed out. Awakening finds one. Make it two. And that will be enough to stabilize for Fun.
Yeah, and Awakening knows, I just got to get this EMP as far as possible because QK's behind us. He's influencing my teammate spawn all the way at
سعود صح سعود.
FaZe Falcons
Wow.
over the
الحمد لله
top
الحمد لله.
are going to be able to hit the early halftime.
الحمد لله كويسين كويسين يا اخوان كويسين مو سيئين.
All right, now they're ready and playing.
Looking good too. I mean, across the board, everyone's playing really well right now for FaZe Falcons. Nox in particular, though, definitely the standout from the first half.
Oh yeah.
Oof. Dude, three bullets dead. Unreal.
That's such a demoralizing moment right there if you're for fun. You get 3 dead in sync at that. And you're just ready to take the space out to Cabo. All right, the first guy, all right, you're going to die. But the second guy we're expecting to get behind him, he already saw you cross and then destroyed your teammate for the third. So all the momentum they were potentially going to gain off that push, Nox strips it for them. And now that turns into them being down now 4-0. Got to play super quickly on this second half to stand a chance.
Yeah, you sure do. Quick play up the middle. Starting to find some success for Fun Esports, but Roxas shuts the play down. EMP grab, though. And Fun Esports can kind of set themselves up. Not enough presence in the map to do much at the moment. Good tags from Gio. But the problem is, there are still way more players here for FaZe Falcons than they can contest with. Awakening trying to just slice and dice his way through, but does get cut down. And FaZe Falcons now have control towards B.
Yeah, just the way that they can play their defense up 4-0. Just guarantees someone to watch the super OE route.
Grenade.
We're just consistently applying the pressure on the front side. Very easy for FaZe Falcons for another goal line stop. But now instantly going to turn defense into offense, or at least try to. You get cut down at Cabo after Mackenzie Melts finds 2.
Yeah.
That's all 4 dead coming off the respawn, and Max is just looking now for the opening kill.
Yep, Nade bounced off the corner. Awakening, Gio able to find the first 2 eliminations.
لا يا أخي لا. حرام يوصلها والله.
The score and the kill afterwards. So this could lead to a very nuisance type problem for FaZe Falcons if Yuli can just play his life here. And he's doing a nice job. Able to get himself one more, eventually taken down from behind. But EMP's in control right now for Fun, and they've got Gio working on a route through mid, although he does get cut.
Now you're needed.
حلوة.
Now turns into Awakening, but he also gets cut down. So now you're forcing this device to be pushed through the middle of the map. Max is trying to control the possession. Give his team
حلوة.
chances at scores, and you're trying to set up Gio now on this long pitch. He does find the first. Awakening trading through the front side, but now Gio on the last man towards the back line. No need to rush the fight. Another stop is good for FaZe.
Yeah, awkward moment right there for Gio for sure. So 3 minutes on the clock.
يا سعود يا أخي يكسند ما أدري إيش فيه.
Roxas trying to assist Nox forward onto the B side of the map. And honestly, Mac is just holding a position, watching for the flank because teammates are still coming off of respawn. But some respect gain here for FaZe Falcons. They're just kind of playing keep away right now.
Yeah, realistically, you can't play like this if you're for fun. You're banking on them to be the aggressors to potentially give you a chance at this EMP, but they're just controlling the game, and time is starting to get away from you. You've got to be the aggressors. Thankfully, you're now setting the pressure over towards Cabo.
حلوة يا لوكا.
Pressure, you're not winning the trade fights. That's all 4 dead lead blockers. To Luca, who is on 6 in a row. That's going to be score number 5. Task on go for fun.
Yeah, pretty much over, you would think, just based on all of the stuff that FaZe Falcons have shown up.
يا عمري يا لوكا يا أسطورة.
20 and 12
ما شاء الله.
shut down, but that's a stark comparison to the 8 and 22 of Yuli. It's just Fun Esports have not been able to hang in the slaying department whatsoever.
حلوة.
Map number 3, so looking good for FaZe Falcons to keep the series alive. Minute 45 on the clock. Possibility to score here for Fun, but again, they're just not winning the battles they need to be.
Yeah, it's just tough, man. It's tough when you got to play 2 times faster when you're down by 4 scores. You're trying to get your scores, but you're also playing against the game clock as well. So For Funds now are basically playing head cut off Call of Duty. Let's just try to run and gun to get ourselves into this game. A minute and 20 left to go. Possession is going to be theirs, but all you have to do is just play your time. For all these one-on-one gunfights if you're FaZe Falcons.
Yep. Minute 12. It's going to feel like a victory lap right now for FaZe Falcons. So a huge bounce back in the series after a lot of mistakes were made on the gridlock hard search and destroy. And again, just playing sockeye hardpoint, they just were not able to rotate well. But here, Overload looking really polished, and that's a nice little mental reset for you going into map 4.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Especially with all the momentum you gained here. Like, you're cutting these guys to bits. Knox is obviously roaring with confidence, but everyone's sitting at positive.
حلوة يا عيال.
Of the game, AR starting to take over as well. The FaZe Falcons already have mathematically put this game out of reach.
يا عمري يا سعود دبل نايس. حلوة يا عيال حلوة.
Momentum on this side. Now they're just banking that it's like Colossus or something that they can run multiple NPCs.
Oof. Holy cow, dude. Luca on another 7 spree. FaZe Falcons will very comfortably take this one through. Not quite able to get the last for 30, but nonetheless impressive from Luca.
لعبتنا والله هذه لعبتنا يا اخوان هذه. سيرش ما نعرف نلعب سيرش.
FaZe Falcons back into the series, and you're right. It just comes down.
والله مجنون لوكا.
For the map 4.
Yeah, and I was looking at it. It's going to be gridlock HP.
سيرش ما نعرف نلعب سيرش. لا تلعبونا سيرش. العبونا زي كذا بس.
For all these young players and challenges, a new map is a great feeling to have, but there's a lot of these hard points where you're requiring a lot of presence out of your SMGs and not really thinking too much ahead about those rotations. It can come back to hide you though, especially for the P2s and the P3s. But as long as you're applying that pressure with the SMGs, having all of your teammates in the fight instead of someone just hitting a Law's route, losing that one-on-one, and having a completely different turning point of what that now play turns into, this gridlock is going to do wonders for FaZe Falcons.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just, on the other side of things, you've got 4 players who, in Black Ops 4, I think they were all in the amateur space, if I'm remembering right. I know Awakening for sure was. Back, maybe not. I'm trying to think of Gio and Yuli. Maybe. I don't remember. If they did, they weren't at World Championships. Awakening was, though, so he's familiar with the map for sure. But, regardless of that.
والله في الجيم هذا مرة بدعوا يا بندر.
Still, I just think like watching for fun esports.
بس الجيم اللي قبلها هي رفعت الضغط.
Head is all about rotate. Get yourself set up in power positions on the 60 Money Hills, and that was a huge win condition for them in map 1, and I'm sure it'll be replicated in map 4. Just comes down to can they actually get away with it this time.
Yeah, you just see the difference though in FaZe Falcons game when they're the team initially to set the tone or where the team's laying catch up. Because when they get that first score on the board, they know, all right, we got all map control, we can quickly turn it into score number 2. And also these gunfights are a lot easier when we're controlling the game the way that they
بندر المري.
minute of this one.
صح بندر المري ولا انا هبت من عندي المري؟
Unbelievable. Now the guns are high, the fundamentals are there, the team play is there. You just got to do it in hardpoint because if you allow 4 Fun Esports to beat you to the punch on Money Hills, on gridlock, like the P2s, if they chain it even to the P3, you're basically going to lose the map. So you need to be able to stop the bleeding as a collective unit, not just 3 players doing it and then 1 player still contesting O, because then you never have the number situation.
Yeah.
صحيح كويس والله زين ما هي بهبدة.
So gridlock for the hardpoint, potential for the Scar search and destroy here on our main broadcast. Fun Esports still in control, but a huge swing map from the Den Overload has us maybe a little bit reconsidering
الجيم الجاي هارد بوينت.
This FaZe Falcons team can throw into the mix here, so exciting times to be sure.
هارد بوينت الله يستر بس الله يستر.
I'm trying to get a look to see if there's any updates on the other matches that are happening right now.
P7 3-0 Torn Esports, so that score was definitely flipped. FC Stallions are currently up 2-1 versus Old Mid Brooklyn. Huntsman and Cabal still tied at 1, still in that overload.
The overload.
That is all the updates we have for now.
Okay. So we're running through. And I don't know. I mean, I won't say that I'm surprised that P7 3-0 Torn, but the score lines that we saw were oof.
It's bad, brother. It's bad because Torn Esports is like they had some series where they went blow for blow with some of the best players that have ever graced the sticks here in challenges. And that's crazy to say because you can catch some of these guys off guard by having some random gameplay. And I think that what the case was when you went up against the likes of Bittersweet. It's just now when you go up against P7, they know where they are. They know who they are. The team that already qualified for the Pro-Am, and there's no way in hell they're going to lose their opening matchup to a young, very young
شكرا على القلوب شكرا على القلوب.
Qualify for their very first time. They take care of business with E versus Torn. They get knocked down to losers bracket, but you still don't allow that to kill your momentum if you're a Torn. You got to this situation, you got to this position for a reason. It might have not been there in that first series, but you desperately need it now in that elimination match.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, the pressure of that lower bracket is immense. And it's just going to be one of those things that's interesting, like, to think about how this bracket's going to play out. Because if P7 continue to run through teams, like, whenever you play them, you need to send them down to the lower bracket to give yourself the best chance possible to play for that Pro-Am spot. Otherwise, we very well may have, like, the lower finals might be the most coveted matchup. The P7 Notorious make their way through the upper bracket side of the, the upper side of the bracket, make it into the grand finals from the winner's side. Okay, well, they can't have that final spot, so that lower finals would be huge.
100%. But I think if you're all these challenger players, you're not even thinking about, all right, getting second. No, like, we're coming in here to win this. Let's put ourselves in a great position going into the Pro-Am tournament.
يلا اعطونا الجيم اللي بعده يلا.
I don't want to be
شو وقتكم
like,
الخايس؟
because the other team already did.
2 الفجر قاعد يلعب 2 الفجر.
Especially versus the best in the world. Now I need to be a winner to play the best.
I hear that. It's interesting, I think, just kind of watching over what happened with Europe, and Rock Esports is the team that will be at least joining us there, but I know that meta change doesn't look all that great for him. But we're going to go for our next map to get things kicked off, so don't go far. We got more challengers playoffs right after this.
يا ليل 5 دقايق. يا اخبار حتى الكلام صار ما عاد يطلع زين. علومكم يا شباب، اخباركم طيبين؟ شو مسوين؟ اقسم بالله اني بموت من النوم والله. لا تضحك ساير، لا تضحك. هذا من النوم، الكلام صار ما يطلع زين. اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد. اذا رقدت في البث صحوني يا شباب. ها ساير، اذا شفتني كذا نمت كذا صحني على طول. اذا شفت سويت زي كذا صحني. الاضاءات تجيب صداع. الاضاءات عندي واحدة هنا، عندي هذه الأساسية هنا تصدع بالواحد الاضاءات. يلا يا اخوي يلا، الوقت يمشي ببطيء، باقي دقيقتين.
Well, Welcome back there, friends. We're jumping on into our alpha matchup. Gridlock hardpoint for map number 4. And so far, through the first hill, Jay.
ردينا لهم 50 ثانية في الهارد بوينت. بجرب اطفي، شوف بطفي بس هذا اللي على اليسار. شوف لما اطفي ايش يصير. شوف باقي هذه الأساسية هنا. علي شوي.
out of the F-15 is watching that line of sight. So for now, it's still 4-1 in, but Luca's getting a lot of gunfights to the backside of Market. That's going to open up the lane for FaZe Falcons to get a much-needed break.
Yeah, Geo, though, staying tucked over towards 18, able to find one. Second would be great, and he's able to provide that as well. Wow. And so that's going to be an opportunity to neutralize this back 20, if not win it for the side of fun. And yeah, Geo, great finesse. Gets the 3 in a row. Awakening will clean up the inside alley. And now we're rotating over where Yuli's already here.
وش الفائدة يا عجل كذا؟ اطفي الفيس كام، وش الفائدة من الفيس كام؟ طفت الإضاءات.
So FaZe Falcons now have some breathing room. Your farthest pushed up player is going to be Luca, and he's going to be such a nuisance. So at least give yourself another chance at the next wave of fights because it's still FaZe Falcons.
يا سعود يا سعود صح يا سعود.
Roxas, who was trying to anchor that right side of the minimap, tries to go help out the hard point, and as he does, he gets figured out, and it's all.
صح يا الربع تكفون، ليك هذا آخر جيم لا يفوزون.
So they will break back into the hard point and get likely past the 100-point mark here as FaZe Falcons are trying to set up a finesse break, but it's being read. I mean, you've got Geo watching on the side, turning his head over to help out with Awakening. The kills are good, so there will be a chance to fight for this back 20 for FaZe Falcons.
Yeah, they desperately need it, though, because you push to this final 20, you can potentially spawn them behind you and chain it now over towards the P4. At least for now, there's going to be 2 players behind you. And now you're just peking on your teammates who are off the road to win these key one-on-ones. Roxas lose the first, knocks down to 53 HP in a dream. It's trapped between 2 different players of 4 funds. So they lock down the back spawn. Now going to be the team initially to get time here.
Well,
حلوة. شقوهم يا عيال شقوهم. والله شقوهم.
Essentially in the hard point, just outside the back doors on elbow. Good position for him to be at. But yeah, you get figured out. Geo and Yuli duo up for the kill. Now here comes the contest and potentially the break, and it looks like that will indeed happen. 2K trying to finesse around the back, but the timing has been figured out, and For Fun Esports are in control.
Yeah, For Fun, they just take their time and they break it. They know that all 4 players are going to be set up. So how do we put ourselves in an advantage? Double tap in the back alley for the opening kill. Stuns and nades because there's no trophy systems getting to be in play at the front door. You find 2 kills uncontested and you're able to hold down the time, but FaZe Falcons aren't willing to give it up for free. Are able to break essentially for the final 20 and are keeping themselves in the game.
Rotation back to 1 underway. Luca, big first win there. Controls some of the overpass. Moves over towards the parking lot and he will fall. So For Fun Esports are a bit scattered on the map at the moment, but things will start to stabilize, or at least they should.
Big win.
Because the kills that were coming through for FaZe Falcons are going to continue to have For Fun Esports spawning all over the map.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
ايوه خليك بيجونك، لا تتحرك لا تتحرك بيجونك.
Still sitting at 6 and 11, but those 2 kills that he found out the rotation were very important. So now his team soaking up a lot of time here at the P1.
حرام حرام يدبر 2 والله حرام. ايوه يا لوكا يا عمري.
That's right, and now you've got an opportunity to play through the overpass and set yourself up for the fire truck spawns. P2.
حلوة.
Nice shots from Roxas, but only finds 1. But the bounce back through P1 has been flawless for FaZe Falcons.
حلوة يا لوكا.
About 20 points.
يا لوكا انت لو تروح تبيك له ليش؟
Trying to lock things down best they possibly can. Mac is able to get a double. Nox is pushed all the way back around gates.
حلوة.
Find Geo, huge win. So spawns will continue to be blocked here.
حلوة يا عيال.
UK and Market, there's an opportunity for FaZe Falcons just to break right on in.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
يشقوهم يا عيال.
Take care of all the AR players still holding down around that 18 wheeler.
الهارد بوينت طيب الهارد بوينت يا عيال خلوكم دخلها.
Knocks on 4 to roll. The guy who made the big time play just winning that one-on-one versus Max secures the spawn for his team, and now he's streaking on 5 in a row. Does get taken down by Awakening though, so 4 funds, even though they do have the leaders advantage,
شفته
they have the numbers and they do get the break.
Yeah, that's a nice break. Especially 20 seconds still remaining. QK able to get a trade on the Geo, but no effort.
قريبين فرق 30 35 قريبين.
Instead it's about winning this mid route, which Roxas provides some pressure for FaZe Falcons.
Roxas مش عليك مش عليك.
So there should be a trade here. Yuli should have a freebie, and he will. And as time expires on P2, 3 will open up for FaZe Falcons, but
it's a good
the
time to
pressure
die.
and the spawns are looking good for fun.
Yeah, like that close shower spawn, I don't know if it existed back in the day, but even if you're dying off the rotation while your teammates are set up, it allows you to instantly be into the next fight. Finding a double frag is only going to slow down now this break at 7-4 fun. Lucas is taking his own hands, and those are the plays that is holding him back from truly unlocking his own.
يا عمري يا سعود.
Because that's technically a scam. Now your teammates in the left in a 2v1 situation try to hold down the time. Thankfully, he's right back.
Nice, yeah, nice.
again.
Nice.
To find a third. Damage from Nox, trying to push it out. No, too many players there. So now all of a sudden for Fun Esports are looking at a gut check break. Couple in the feed for Geo. Roxas trying to hold this angle. Good support from Maluka, who gets 2. Make it 3 as Nox is part of the problem again. But with 5 seconds remaining, we can't lose focus on what's coming up next. And FaZe Falcons will be late to rotation, although they will have numbers trying to stretch over before the hard point opens.
Yeah, they have a lot of presence through the back, but you got to quickly challenge those because on the pinch side, it's going to be Geo.
يا كنوكس يا أسطورة.
He does find 1 kill, but all of his teammates drop like flies. So Geo, you got to be a superhero. Unfortunately, you're instantly going to get cut down.
شيل بك يا عمري يا
شيخ. You're
شيخ.
forcing all of your teammates to break through the front side of the street.
يا عمري يا شيخ. عادي عادي عادي.
Luka, wow, just trying to find the timing to play the secondary set of kills, but that doesn't work out. Yuli playing through the top side of window for their break. Nox trying to hold off the reinforcements as the rest of his team are structuring from the front. Here comes the pinch.
حلوة.
First one's free. There's still question marks though.
حلوة يا عيال ناخذ الليد ناخذ الليد.
Geo and Yuli gone.
ايوه البوينت لنا ناخذ الليد. فرق شوي فرق شوي.
And Yuli, I think, was actually the one who got credit for those kills, is all of a sudden on 5 in a row.
Yeah, he's on 5 in a row. He's trying to earn himself a Hellstorm because it could be so impactful, especially around this P1. So he's able to locate
يلعب شكله والصدف والحظ. ينزل قدامه واحد.
Yuli having a phenomenal bounce back respawn here, sitting at 24 and 19. Even though FaZe Falcons have the presence that they want towards the middle, it's instantly going to get stripped away.
يقلع حظه يقلع حظه هذا هو مفلش بعد.
Yeah, that's what I say. This could call in the Hellstorm that Yuli was able to earn, and it will. So FaZe Falcons will be scrambling. A couple of the kills come out. Looking for timing on the route behind this is Luka.
جاب 2.
Not quite able to do too much with that, and that will be an opportunity for Fun Esports to push through the map.
Yeah, Yuli's such a smart player. He understands, even though I have the Hellstorm, you probably want me to call it in off the respawn. But
حلوة
I put
كنوكس.
myself in a position to potentially influence the spawns for the next time before I call it in.
يا عمري يا
It leads to the
شيخ.
break at the P1. Still gives you the lead as we're heading over towards P2, but now we're losing the gunfights that are very important towards the
يا عمري
back line.
كنوكس يا
And
أسطورة.
Nox is now on 5 in a row.
Yeah, this is a nice moment here for FaZe Falcons at a critical moment of this map. Luka from the front.
يا لوكا يا أسطورة.
Okay. Follow up, Awakening does get traded. So now you've got time available for FaZe Falcons. If we can get into the hard point. They're not spawning towards fire, so they know that there's a threat around the back.
That's a scam.
It sure feels that way. Yeah, Geo's going to get 2. So now the spawns are going to be all over the place for FaZe Falcons. We're still not in the time, trying to fight for positioning. And even though there's a nade that connects, and Luka's got his pitch set up, this feels like a lot of net time wasted right there for FaZe Falcons, who are going to get the back 23.
100%.
ناخذ الليد ناخذ الليد. فرق بسيط فرق بسيط في البوينت تكفون.
Setup possible, even when the timings are on our side. Lucas gotta stop taking so much space, because when you're giving up that opening kill, that's what leads to clean breaks for very good teams. But unfortunately for Force One, that second wave of gunfights, they lost every single one of them. So now they're banking off the rotation, where they are fully set up, ready and waiting for this first wave.
حلوة.
Good first blood from Roxas. Yuli will drop. Matt, the next one responsible from inside the hill, trying to play this crossing angle. Only able to find 1. Follow-up from FaZe Falcons is perfect. You see the bottom of a foot, but Nox gets baited into trying to challenge. And in that moment, Geo comes with Yuli a 3rd. And just when you thought FaZe Falcons were going to get the break, now
لا يا عيال لا يا عيال.
break again, and
حلوة.
Yuli is trying to hold them off. Only able to find 1. Geo gets the response though, and we're going to get the 225 to 211. FaZe Falcons still trying to get the setup together.
Oh, thankfully that trophy system is their best friend. Playing a
البوينت يا عيال البوينت لا يقعد.
we gotta go with our number situation because the longer you wait, the
قسم
quicker
بالله
we're able
حرام،
to
قسم بالله
finesse.
حرام.
Awakening is able to find two. I think one of his teammates, it had to be Mac, finds the final. And here comes the last push here, potentially for FaZe Falcons.
And Awakening's got the read. First shots are good. Hardpoint still being possessed, but FaZe Falcons have numbers to try to work this one out and try to get the noob. But the problem
لا أحد
is
يطلع من
you
البوينت،
are
خليكم
so
في البوينت
far away,
كلكم.
the hardpoint's
Gotta
about
go
to
quick.
open up. A couple of players for Fun Esports are going to spawn.
يا الله. حلوة. فازوا يلعن أبو القهر.
And for Fun Esports will make their way into winners round 2.
Yeah, thankfully for Fun Esports had the start off that they did, man, because they started to lose some of those key wave gunfights for the final 20 to 25 seconds of time, and even their Hellstorm that they invested at the P1 didn't choke up a lot of time, and so FaZe Falcons kept themselves into the game, but
أقسم بالله قهر.
something that this
أقسم
young
بالله
roster is
قهر.
gonna have to continue to learn. We get put into situations, sometimes if it's 15
ما تشوف أبو نجد يا عيال وش قاعد يقول؟
didn't choke up a
شوف
lot
أبو
of
نجد كيف
time,
ماسك راسه.
Falcons kept themselves into the game, but this is something that this young
ما أدري تشوفونه ولا لا.
في جيم بعد شوي، في جيم بعد شوي لوزر. يا الله
شوف كيف ماسك راسه.
يا الله يا الله يا الله.
والله العظيم قهر، والله قهر.
الحمد لله على كل حال، الحمد لله على كل حال.
أقسم بالله قهر.
الحمد لله على كل. باقي لوزر، باقي فرصة.
ما عاد في أعصاب يا سايرو، ما في أعصاب.
باقي فرصة أخيرة، باقي فرصة أخيرة، باقي فرصة. بعد شوي بيبدون، بعد شوي. الحمد لله على كل حال، الحمد لله على كل حال. يا اخوان الجيم بيبدا بعد شوي.
أخي القهر، أخي القهر.
For FaZe Falcons, it's the same story, I think, on Sake as it is here in Gridlock. Just a couple of moments that we're trying to just finesse objective time instead of playing for rotation. It's coming up, really punishing them.
Just like when you're the team fully set up off the roto, all 4 players ready and waiting, just holding their lanes, it needs to be a lot more difficult for you to fall.
أقسم بالله قهر ورفع الضغط.
You don't have to take those risks. All you have to do is guarantee that your lane is going to be watched. But when you're gifting them,
مشكلة فريق هذا مو مرة قوي يعني، والله حرام والله العظيم. فريق ذا مو مرة أوه ما تقدر عليه يا أخي.
that slight edge in this game, you keep on taking those risks that don't continuously are panning out. So for Fun Esports, like you said, they move on. Through the winners bracket side, FaZe Falcons have a lot of work to do in the elimination. But the better team got the better of them today with the experience. And for Fun Esports, they move on.
Indeed, indeed.
Some other updates out. FC Stallions beat Omid Brooklyn 3-1. Huntsman and Cabal is still tied at 1.
نشوف نجد وش يقول.
Indeed, indeed.
Some other updates out. FC Stallions beat Omid Brooklyn 3-1. Huntsman and Cabal is still tied at 1, so I have no idea what the update is on that overload. It's got to be a 30-minute overload, potentially went overtime, reset. It might have been one of those scenarios, Al, because they're still at 1-1. I don't know how.
So Project Notorious would play Stallions in the upper bracket then. That's going to be an interesting one, especially with Stallions finding this little surge over the course of the week so far. But we'll take a look to see how that other matchup that you're alluding towards.
باقي ساعة على الله يا اخوان شكلي ما راح اكمل البث. افضل السيئين، يب افضل السيئين، بس والله حرام يا اخي. حرام تحس ما هم عارفين يلعبون يا اخي. سعود دكسند ما ادري ايش فيه.
كنت تتوقعون الضيف اللي بيجي البث؟
الضيف اللي قاعد تاكله يا ابو نجد ما شاء الله.
في ضيف جاي البث مين؟
Well, we'll see how this pillow fight ends up.
Are we reacting? Like, hello?
I don't know. We're waiting for Renegade to make a play through mid at the moment.
في ضيف جاي البث بعد دقائق. 1 2
and a second. Then it's just down to Vikram. Nothing there. Wow. Okay. That will lead to a very convincing opening score.
رجيم. أقول لك الحمد.
I'm surprised.
سعرة حرارية واحدة فقط.
Yeah, it's just like Cabal. You gotta understand. Like, this is how they want you to be.
20 سعرة حرارية.
Watching every single hit.
رحبوا معنا باللاعب السعودي.
One's got a pistol and you got 3 players ready and waiting.
مبدع بالسنايبر.
ايوه.
مبدع في السكريمات وفي
منو يا ابو نجد؟
الرئيسية.
منو خلينا نعرف منو يا ابو نجد.
رحبوا معنا جميعا. اللاعب المبدع قناص رياض فالكونز. 1 شوت 1 كيلز. رحبوا معنا.
يلا يا ابو نجد.
طولت يا ولد.
أنا أخر
رحبوا
يعني.
معنا بسعود السبيعي.
نشوفهم.
مرحبا يا سعود، حياك الله، تفضل. هل صوته واضح استاذ سعود؟
لا ارفع صوته ارفع صوته يا ابو نجد.
كيف الحال؟ معك معك
والله
أبو نجد
عرفت.
رئيس مجلس إدارة حاطيح نجد.
ايوه.
Good timing there out of Sudi.
من قال لك؟
The NPC just absolutely deletes him right at the goal line.
قبل هذا
Ball with
والله
thinking, all right, potentially this one should be
الحمد
free
لله.
and clear for a
ايش
tie.
تاكل انت؟ ايش تاكل؟
والله
Actually
امنمت
basically trapping them in
شو؟
the spawn. A little bit of a park
Eminem.
bus action.
صحي ولا مو صحي؟
Taking them
ابدا
from
مو
the
صحي.
خلاص
بالله كم سعره
It's
حوالي؟
gonna be cleared all now.
كل يا اخي ابو نجد. ابو نجد شكله تو يعرف السعرات.
والله ما ادري.
انا رجال اكل اكل صحي خلاص. بالله واضح علي؟
واضح والله ابو نجد التحدي هذا قدام والله اذا التزمت وفعلا في دبليو سي في فرق والله لك هديه خاصه هديه خاصه.
كم؟ انا شغال شغال.
سلام.
قصة صوت الجيم.
يعوضون العيال ان شاء الله يعوضون باذن الله.
يا رب
والله
يا كريم باذن الله يا رب.
ما شفت والله
ايش
التحدي.
الهدية؟
ما شفت.
مطعم شيء ذبيحة ها؟
اللي تبي.
ندور العيش يا ابو نجد.
خليك جاهز خليك جاهز. والله شغال على الموضوع. طالب ثوم صحي فقط.
يا ابو نجد يا ابو نجد ثم صحي زي ايش طيب يا اخوان، الصراحة ما فيني حيل بالمرة انتظر لين الساعة 4. ما في حيل انتظر للساعة 4.
السلاح الجديد معكم.
دقيقة خليني اعطي
والله مضبوط والله.
عشان نشوف المباراة. اذا تبون تشوفون المباراة يا اخوان اللي موجودين عندي تقدرون تروحون عند ابو نجد. ابو نجد بيقعد يشوف المباراة حقت اللوزر حقت الخاسرين وبيلعب فيز فالكون مرة ثانية. سايرو انت ما ادري اذا عندك تويتش ولا لا، تقدر تروح عند ابو نجد هناك تستمتع. انا والله لازم اقفل خلاص. انا ما نوم ما اقدر اشوف شيء مرة بالمرة. نوم بالموت صملت لين الحين عشان ابث. شكرا لحضورك يا ساير وشكرا لكل واحد جاء. شكرا لك يا بدر. نشوفكم باذن الله في بثوث ثانيه. اللي ما اشترك بالقناه يشترك يا اخوان. نبث تقريبا كل الالعاب كل المباريات. نشوفكم بثوث ثانيه باذن الله. مع السلامه.